welcome back to MMAnytt and another episode of our podcast, The Roundtable. And we got Dario Bernato with us as always. Now,
what's going on, guys?
Now a celebrity after being on the Tough Enough with WWE, right?
I wouldn't go that far, but yes, it was definitely a public journey.
Yeah, how was it? How was it doing a reality show?
It was different. It's really hard for me. It was really hard not to curse on TV, to be honest, and to be myself. You know, it's hard. Yeah, but it was fun.
You have some experience from reality TV.
Yeah, I've done a couple reality shows.
Kevin Casey back with us again, and congratulations to your win back in the octagon again. How was it coming back after a year off?
I was very excited to get back in the ring. You know, I felt like I had a lot to prove, especially being off, the suspension and then coming back and letting everyone know that I'm still here to stay. So, but to get in there and, get the nerves out and just, you have all these monsters in your head that build up when you have an event like that. What if this happens? What if that happens? And, everything just went smooth, and I conquered all those demons, and I was able to come out on top.
Was the fight the way you had planned it, the way you saw it happen?
Honestly, I expected myself to be able to put him away, but he was a tough opponent, and he hit from the strikes really well, and he just made it a long fight. So, I was expecting to get him out in the first round, my ego. But, he made it a long night.
And then Curtis Blaydes, who we got with us here, who people might not know yet, but I speak to people that are not just hype men, and this is what I've heard of you. The next great thing in the heavyweight division, he's going to be a star in the UFC. You're 4-0 as a pro. You just signed with RFA. You're making your RFA debut on the 7th of August in St. Louis. When you hear things like that, what do you think?
I mean, I feel good about it. Like it feels good to have expectations. That means people believe in you, so that's always good. But I just hope I can live up to the hype, I guess. I hope so. I think I can.
And that's what I've heard as well. You're a very humble man, and four wins, 4 knockouts. You never seen the third round in a mixed martial arts fight.
No.
You were junior college national champion, similar to what John Jones was, correct?
Yeah.
But in the heavyweight division. I know you're training down at Kings with Master Rafael Cordero. You were a sparring partner for Fabricio Werdum, who I hear nothing but great things. To so early on in your pro career, be training with the heavyweight champ, how does it feel?
That was it was like one of those moments you're like, wow, I'm on the mat with Fabricio Werdum, and it was almost like it happened so fast. I didn't have enough time to be like worried or nervous. It was just like, go spar. I was like, okay, let's go spar.
Well, you clearly belong there. Else you wouldn't be there, right?
Yeah.
So you're from Chicago. So what brings you to Southern California? Is it just for the RFA fight, or do you also train out here with people?
I've been out here. I've been out here a few times now. I started coming out here because my buddy Oscar, he lives out here, and he was like, there's a lot of great gyms out here. You should come get some real heavyweights, and I was like, okay. So I came out here. I started going to Kings, and I met Master Cordero, and I liked the way he taught his Muay Thai, and I need that. I need my striking to develop to catch up with my grappling. I know that, so.
Absolutely. We have some of the best gyms down here in Southern California, and people talk about them a lot. Definitely Kings being one of them, Systems Training Center being the other.
Don't forget about Black House.
And Black House, of course.
And Kevin, we're going to ask a couple of questions just because you've been in the same boat as Curtis is about to step into, being in the RFA, then fighting for the belt, and then taking the route into the UFC. If you can give an advice to Curtis, what would that be at this early on in his career? Just
stay focused and believe in yourself as far as getting to that next level, because RFA has proven itself to be like one of the top promote. And if you can hang in that RFA, if you can get that title and you can prove yourself on that level, you're definitely ready to go in the UFC and make some noise. So, believe in where you're at and believe in the fact that you're going to make a smooth transition. And the guys that you're fighting are guys that are on the level. So when you step in that UFC cage, feel confident that you belong there. Don't have any doubts.
Well, sparring with guys such as the guys that you have down at Kings, like not just Fabricio Werdum, but the level of guys they have in general, from you know, you have 3 champions that are Brazilian and 3 champions in the gym with you every day, right? Dos Años, Fabricio Werdum. Is Babalu in there training with you guys?
I haven't seen him, but I've heard he goes there, but I haven't seen him there yet. But yeah.
What other names have you trained with down there that are around your weight?
Well, Verdum's the only guy, the only like
Real
name I know.
heavyweight.
Yeah, but the other guys, their jiu-jitsu is way better than mine, so I still appreciate being able to get on the mat with those guys. It still helps my jiu-jitsu. So.
And I have to ask you, I see you sporting the UFC Reebok shirt right now. How does it fit? Is it comfortable?
Very, very comfortable.
How's the deal treating you?
You know what? I'm happy with the gear. You know, of course, I wish I was making a little more money.
Right.
But as far as the gear, you know, the way they treat it, the way everything was set up, it was amazing. You know, we had our own lockers. It looked like similar to an NFL locker room where you came in and all your gear was laid out, your name's on it. So, you know, I felt a little important. You know what I mean?
I heard about those lockers. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
To go in and see your last name on a locker. It's like, you know, we are now this level of professional players, you know?
Yeah, I felt important.
That's cool.
Yeah.
One thing that I always look at logistics. So you have an arena, you have an event. My thought is, how do you get the lockers in there? That's what I was. How would the lockers look?
They look like they had to be you know, shipped in, brother. I don't think they just pieced them together. These were like,
It's not
you
IKEA.
know,
These are like
no,
custom
this was high level stuff here. We're talking about. We're talking about
so cool.
Reebok, man.
Did they spell your name right?
Yeah, they got my name right.
That's good. That's good to hear. And now, Dora, I gotta ask you, from one side of what people used to watch, WWE, which is entertainment, but then mixed martial arts taking over the reality of it. What was the difference? What's the main thing? It's still wrestlers. They're real wrestlers too. A lot of the WWE guys.
One of the big surprises to me, because I've never done pro wrestling prior to this opportunity with WWE, was, oh my God, this stuff hurts. Like this is real contact. Like half the stuff, I mean, you're really fighting each other. You're taking hits. You're falling down. You're jumping over each other. It's really a workout, and it's really hard. Definitely kind of like, you know, doing, it's like a play, but a fight at the same time. So you're performing and you're being athletic. So there's a lot of things that go into it. And more than MMA, I think you go in there, and it's like, as long as you come out with the W, I don't really care how you looked. I mean, you obviously want to look good.
Right.
But with WWE, it's all about the performance. It's all about looking good while you're doing it. So there's a lot of thought before you go out there. It's kind of like, okay, I need to look good. Got to get on my mark. Got to, you know, memorize like a play.
Right.
There's a lot into it.
So you do know who's gonna win before you start.
How dare you?
You want the whole trade secret right in one interview, huh?
No, of course you don't, because I'm fighting you.
I don't know. I don't know this thing. We don't have WWE in Europe as much. Watch MMA. But now, Coach, I gotta ask you as a wrestler coming from a wrestling background, and that's what wrestlers used to do, right? They used to go into WWE. Was that ever a thought for you, or was it straight into mixed martial arts?
I actually had an opportunity after I won JUCO Nationals. A guy approached me. He gave me his card, and he wanted me to come down to a tryout down in Tampa Bay. But I was like, I really didn't. I was like, no, I don't want to do that.
You have the look. Like, he has the look. I could so see that. Now that I've been
as a
around
wrestler,
him.
is it
For
something
sure.
that you would consider?
I guess if I needed the money, I guess I would.
I think the money might be better than MMA,
Let
right?
me just say, let me just say, 2 months ago, I would have said no, to be
Right.
fair. But being around it, you fall in love with it. I mean, it's just like, it's such a great company, just like the UFC is. You know, when you're around it, you fall in love with it. It's a sport. It's a industry. It's fun.
Yeah, it's something that I can appreciate the level of wrestling just from watching them, you know, doing it. But we don't really have it. So Hulk Hogan is the only one I know who disappeared. Apparently, does anyone know what happened to Hulk Hogan?
There's some allegations against him right now, right?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Something I heard he said something that, you know, along the racist kind of.
Yeah.
Apparently, he said racial slurs.
I still don't believe Hulk Hogan is racist. I won't be a believer of that, ladies and gentlemen.
I've been around.
Maybe
I
he
was around
said
the guy for the
something.
last
Maybe
2
he
months,
said
and-
something out of anger, which, you know, I'm sure everyone has all said something you know, that they weren't aware that, you know, was going to be put out there to the whole world. But I don't believe Hulk Hogan is a racist. The dude is too cool to be a racist. So
No, yeah.
I'm with you, Hogan.
We got the Hulksters back. I got to talk to him over the past couple months.
You did?
Oh yeah, he was one of the judges on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's a really cool guy, really down to earth, and I can't see him intentionally saying anything harming to anybody else.
Right, right.
I'll say it that way.
Now, Coach, you're the next one to fight. You just fought, just won. You don't have anything on the horizon right now, right?
No, there's a bunch of things up in the air, but nothing confirmed yet.
All right.
Yep.
And August 7th, stepping into the cage in San Luis. What do you know about your opponent?
I know his height, weight, and I know he
Good answer.
he wrestled in high school. That's all I really know. I don't think he's much of a grappler. I know he's not a better grappler than me. So
7-2, right?
yeah.
Have you watched any of it? Or do you watch your opponents?
He doesn't have a lot of film. The film I did see is over a year old. He had a fight for Bellator, and he won it rear naked, but I wasn't impressed. So I'm
All right.
wasn't really.
So now you have 4 wins by knockout, but you're saying he's not a better grappler than you. So do you plan on using your ground game this fight, possibly?
Yes, I want to get in and out as fast as I can.
Awesome.
And since we're here and we got a big fight on the horizon on Saturday, let's talk about UFC. Henan Brow coming back to fight TJ Dillashaw. 2 questions I want answers from all of you.
Mm-hmm.
1, what does Brow need to do differently? And 2, do you think he will take it back?
I just don't think that Barao will be able to deal with the mobility that Dillashaw has been showing lately. So if Dillashaw comes out and he's able to move around and implement that footwork game that he's done, he did in the last fight, I don't think that Barao really has the answer or the athleticism to deal with that. He has the power. If you stay in the pocket, then he'll put you down. But if you're moving and you're making things happen and using athleticism, it's a different fight.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Dillashaw is just way too quick and way too accurate for Hannah Barao. Hannah Barao, if I were him, I think what he needs to do is find those moments where he can connect when Dillashaw's on his way in. So don't chase TJ Dillashaw. Let him play that game. And when he comes in, find that accurate 1 strike that's going to do more damage than Dillashaw's 20 strikes. But it's going to be a point game with Dillashaw. He's going to outscore Hannah Barao unless Hannah Barao gets the knockout.
I wish I hadn't gone last. You guys got all good answers. But if I was Barao, I would try and take away the speed that Dillashaw has by keeping him close and turning it into a dirty fight. But I don't see it happening. But if that was Barao, that's what I would do. I feel like Dillashaw is just too good.
You think he'll utilize his wrestling a little bit more?
I would like to see that. I always like to see wrestlers, because I wrestle. I always like to see a good takedown or slam. I love seeing that. So
Nice.
I would like that.
So you say TJ. Did you say TJ too?
Yeah,
Said
hands
TJ
down.
too. And now obviously Miesha Tate back in the cage again. I know you're gonna watch that fight.
Yes,
Who do you
very
think-
closely.
Yes.
'Cause I have a plan for this bantamweight women's division. I have it all planned out in my head. So Miesha Tate, Jessica Evil Eye. Miesha Tate's going to take the win. Then you give Holly Holm to Jessica Evil Eye. I think we give Holly Holm that step up, kind of like a platform. Okay, if she could beat Jessica, give her Miesha. If she could beat Miesha, who knows? Maybe a Ronda Rousey fight in the future. Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm. But that being said, first, if Miesha Tate wins this fight, I want to give her the trio against Ronda Rousey. People think I'm crazy. You hate me for it, but I'd like to see it.
The way you're talking, you don't sound like that. There's a chance that Ronda Rousey is gonna lose the title anytime soon.
Oh, absolutely not.
Really?
Absolutely not.
All right. And you don't think Cyborg will be able to make it down to 135 and step in there?
Absolutely not. I saw Cyborg about 3 months ago. No. I cannot. If she makes 135, I don't know where the weight's coming from because she's just a brick. Yeah.
Would you want to see that fight?
I'd watch it. I'm waiting for that fight if it happens.
Oh, I
yeah,
would love
for
it
sure.
to happen, but
I actually, I know Jessica. I used to train at her gym in Ohio with Stipe.
Right.
That was like a year and a half ago, and I actually believe that she can win this fight. I'm Team Evil Eye, so
Oh, really?
I am gonna watch the
Alright.
fight.
So Steve, you used to train with Miocic.
Yeah, when I was an amateur, it wasn't good for me. It was good for him. He got
But he's also a wrestler. It's funny because he's Croatian and he's marketing, the Croatian and the flag. And But he's not a kickboxer. He's a wrestler, even though he's got great stand-up at this point.
He's got great stand-up. You wouldn't even believe he's a wrestler unless you actually wrestle with him. If you're just sparring with him, he does head kicks from out of the blue.
Really?
He caught me a bunch of times. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. you got beaten up a couple of times?
Every day.
He told you it was good for him, not good for you.
Every day.
Barbosa is another big name that has had a couple of fights where he hasn't been able to showcase. You know, he was the big rising star very, very quickly. How do you think he will do on Saturday night?
I like Barbosa, man. You know, the last fight, I think he fought Michael Johnson. And, you know, Johnson just came out possessed that fight. And, you know, he just had a pace. And you can't take anything away from Barbosa, even off that loss. So, you know, I'm going with him. He's a very savvy striker. He knows what he's doing out there. He's tough to take down. He moves, and he hits hard.
Who's Barbosa fighting?
He's fighting Felder.
Yeah, I definitely go with Barbosa on this one. I think that Barbosa is more technically sound, and I just see him overall just out-techniquing.
I would go with Barbosa because I never heard of his opponent. I guess
That's
on me. I wasn't gonna say that, but I never heard of it. I'm with you on that one, right?
So I'm just gonna
stay with the home team. Stay with the home team.
I love the honesty.
All right, so the UFC. I gotta ask you though, you a big fan of the UFC?
Yeah. Well, the upper weights. Little guys, I really don't.
Hey.
Sorry. Yeah, I like the upper weights, like from 170 and up. I'm a big fan. After that, like 45, really don't watch. I watched McGregor fight, but anyone besides him, I don't really.
You don't watch Mighty Mouse, brother?
I like John Dodson. I like him, but besides him and Demetrius, I don't know any other contenders, so it's hard to really get into it. Like who's gonna win? Like it's gonna be those two guys. So
yeah, it's a pretty dominant weight class.
Yeah, I hear you, brother.
Johnson.
But Conor McGregor, obviously, everyone's talking about him, but let's talk about him. Let's see.
Can we?
Okay, sure.
I just think that Conor McGregor is amazing, and maybe this is the WWE rubbing off on me, but I honestly think he's doing exactly what everybody else needs to do. Be a character. Be somebody that we want to watch fight. I'm not saying you have to go out there and be cocky and be Conor McGregor, but just be something. Be something that we want to tune into. And that's exactly what he is. I'm on the hype train. I don't even know why. Just because I love the guy. You know what I mean? I mean, I can tell you why.
But so, you know, now it's easy for him to dress nice when you're making the money that he's making. It's easy to look flash when you have money to flash.
Right.
But so would you give that advice to Curtis? The Curtis doesn't strike me as the type of person that would be standing screaming. He's got the beard going. Yeah. But he doesn't seem like the type of person.
But he could have his own charisma swagger. Like, he could come up with something else. Just, I'm into the gimmicks. I really am. Not saying you have to be fake, but, like, why do people watch Ronda Rousey? Yes, she's amazing, but she's also, like, this badass woman that comes out there and gives you the mean mug, and you want to watch her. She's entertaining. I like these faces in MMA that also want to entertain. You know what I mean? You're good on the mic. You know, you can talk your talk. But you can also walk the walk.
But can't you entertain inside of the cage?
Absolutely.
Well, that he does. Don't get me wrong. Like McGregor can definitely hold his own in there, and it's proven it. He's been backing up. That's the thing about mixed martial arts. In the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you talk, you have to back it up, right?
Well, Chael Sonnen, I mean.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line between, you know, marketing yourself and crossing the line. So sometimes I think that, you know, I love Chael. You know, I know him personally. You know, spent time with him
from being on the Ultimate Fight.
Yeah, but there, you know, there are certain things that are just outright disrespectful.
Yes.
And I think sometimes people cross that line, and it leaves it just rubs the public wrong. But in his defense, you know, as far as Conor, he's coming from a place that relatively did not have any like stars out there. There weren't any, you know, people holding up the Irish flag and really making that movement until he started doing it. So I understand why he's doing it, and I commend him for being that leader and being that pioneer for the Fighting Irish and bringing that back. But, you know, certain things, you know, as far as, you know, grabbing people's belt. And
I didn't appreciate that at all.
Yeah, you know, all those a guy who's been at the top of the division for, you know, 10 years or more or something like that. But he deserves a certain amount of respect just for his accomplishment and what he represents. So I
agree there is a level of respect that needs to be maintained, but at the same time, if you're like Chael Sonnen, perfect example. Some people love to hate him, but they still love it. You know, they still want him around, even if they hate him and his antics sometimes. Yeah, he's like the bad guy.
But does everyone have to be the bad guy? Because
no, absolutely not.
Floyd Mayweather is a great example of that as well, right? People pay a lot of money to see Floyd Mayweather lose because of the way he talks.
Well,
right.
What if there were 15 Connors? Then what would we do? It would be too much.
Yeah.
Right. That's why there needs to be a Connor. There needs to be a Chael. Like they kind of have different characters.
So you have Connor. You have Chael. Who else do you have?
There's not many else. No. I think Ronda's good at it. Ronda's a great promo cutter.
But does Ronda really have to do that though? Because she's a pretty girl that's very talented inside of the cage. Does she have to be a bad person? Can't you just be? Because at the end of the day, it's martial artists, right?
Well, I think that is part of the great thing about MMA is that what you do inside the cage does speak for itself most of the time. You can be that like John Jones, Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva doesn't, he doesn't say bad things about people. He's not mean. He's not overly cocky. But everyone knows his name because of what he does in the cage. So I agree, you can make that name without being ridiculous. But I think sometimes it's fun to have those people.
Well, those people are like, they're putting on a performance. The Chael and the Connor, that's a performance. Ronda is serious. That's she's about business.
It's legit. I agree.
She's not doing it to get attention.
But she understands the business. She knows when to turn it on a little bit more. She knows when to turn it off a little bit more.
Okay, I'll give you that.
You know what I mean?
I've seen the turning on. I haven't seen the turning off yet.
Yeah, very rarely is it off. That's very true.
So, who's your favorite fighter?
Myself.
Ooh,
I'm my biggest fan. I'm just now getting back, and I have a lot of things that I think set myself apart from the other fighters as far as my music and just the lineage that I represent. That's why I won't be a gimmick. I won't do anything. You won't ever see me with the crown on. I call myself king, but I won't ever come out there with the crown because I represent something that's real. The Gracie family.
King Mo.
I don't agree with that. I understand why he's doing it, but then it makes something that it takes away that deep sense of pride away from it when you make it a gimmick. So like in my heart, I really am a king. I'm not better than anyone, but I'm not gonna put on a crown and a little cape and walk out and do a dance for anyone.
What you do in itself is entertaining, correct? I mean, I've seen you walk out. You have this charisma, and that's what I'm talking about. That's entertainment, even if you're not trying.
But no, everyone can rap.
I'll take it.
Are you still making music?
Yes. At my last song, I created a brand new song, and thank you Dana White for approving the song and letting me use it to enter the ring. So
very cool.
You'll be looking out for some music coming soon.
Very cool.
Curtis, who's your favorite fighter?
I'm still a big John Jones fan.
Yeah?
Yeah, we kind of. I'm trying to do what he did, even though I'm already a little older. Like he won JUCOs.
You can do that today. You can do that tonight. If you have a call with you can do that tonight.
Oh no!
I'm joking.
Not that one.
I knew you were gonna go there.
No, I mean like I do want to be like. I know a lot of the other heavyweights are a lot older than me, so I want to be the young guy who just comes in and takes everyone by storm. And I plan on using my wrestling to get me there until my striking. Eventually, I would like to have the striking of John Jones. Eventually, but.
And that's what awesome. I heard about it, saying this is the next John Jones of the heavyweight division. And again, at 4 fights, just now signing with the RFA, that's a big statement. But it's also from someone who's very involved in the business. When it comes to your career and already having sparred with the heavyweight champ of the world, Fabricio Werdum, when you were in there on the mat, did you feel like I could do this? I can. Does the thought of maybe standing across him in the octagon one day, does that come to mind?
I did. I was like when he first hit me, I was like, it didn't hurt as much as I thought it would. I was like, I'm not calling him out. I'm not calling him out. I'm just. It was
like business.
It wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Were you nervous?
Yeah. Oh, I was like, this is Werdum. I mean, as you can see, he caught me with a nice head kick. But
nice.
I was like, even that didn't hurt. I was like, this isn't that hard. I could do this. And after sparring with him, these next RFA guys, I'm not really that worried about them. Like, I respect them. I respect anyone who comes in the cage with me because I appreciate it because I've had a lot of guys who back out last minute. So I appreciate it, but I don't see myself getting a loss for a very long time.
I like it.
I believe it when he says it, right?
Yeah.
You see the
I
truth in
believe
his
it
eyes.
too. Think you're gonna be 5-0 with 5 knockouts after on August 8th?
I don't know if it's a knockout. I might sub him or TK, whatever. I know it's going to end in the first round. However it ends, it'll end in the first round.
I like it. I like it.
I like the confidence. I like the confidence. All right, so you can catch Curtis Blaydes, and I have to ask, what is your nickname? Is it Razor Blaydes or is it Dirty Curtis?
Razor Blaydes, Dirty Curtis. That's what my buddies call me on like Facebook. That's from high school, so
Let's keep that off.
yeah.
Razor Blaydes.
Yeah.
Anything on the horizon for you, Kevin?
I'm hoping to get back in the ring around, or in the cage around September. So hopefully they can come up with a show that, you know, they need someone exciting to come in and do some work.
Where can we find your music?
SoundCloud, I have about six tracks up.
Awesome.
You can check it out under the cosign One King.
There you
You heard it
go.
right here. Thank you for tuning in. See you at the next one.
See you guys.